Okay, hello English 302 class. This week for Breaking Open the Head by Daniel Pinchbeck, I wanted to go ahead and explore a little bit about iboga because it was just really on my mind and I really wanted to get into that. I really wanted to learn more about it. So what I did was just kind of, I explored, but then I also kind of tried to find accreditation towards ibogaine being a drug that would help people. And so when I first read that, I was like, wow, this is a drug that can cure people from being, addicted to alcohol or drugs, and it's illegal in the United States. So I really thought that was odd, and I was like, wow, people need to hear about this. And so I found on this news website called Al Jazeera America, I found that a gentleman actually tried ibogaine, and he was a heroin addict for 12 years, and he couldn't kick the habit. He really wanted to stop doing drugs, but he could not until he tried ibogaine. And since then, he hasn't done it. He hasn't done any heroin at all. But he did have 7 friends try it as well, and they were also addicts, and 5 of the 7 didn't go back to doing drugs anymore. And so I figured, 6 out of 8, that's a huge number as far as, the positive outcome of that. That's amazing. If, 6 out of 8 heroin addicts all over the United States got cured, that would be amazing. That would be great. So I just explored that a little bit, and I wondered why in the world, why is it illegal in the United States? And I started to get into other stuff, but I'll get into that in a paper or in another video. But so page 35 is where I found it said iboga is a Schedule 1 drug, which means that it's considered to have potential for abuse, but no medical value. 6 out of 8. I mean, I know it's just a small statistical population, but that's huge. Okay, that's worth looking into. Okay, and so really quickly, I'm going to go along here because my videos tend to be really long-winded. I want to go ahead and hypothesize shamans. I read on page 73 that shamans are really looked at as, needing drugs to induce their communication with the other side, and in order for them to lead spiritual adventures or endeavors or explorations, they have to be on drugs. And Daniel Pinchbeck kind of just clears the air with that and says, a lot of the times they don't use the drugs, they use dancing and other rituals and praying and things like that, and meditation. And so I wanted to hypothesize, what if we had more shamans here in America, because we're really, rational, and, we don't believe in a lot of spiritual stuff. Well, a lot of people aren't very spiritual here. And so I just thought about it, what if we had more shamans and more spiritual people? Would ibogaine be, would it be a Schedule 1 drug, or would it be widely accepted as a cure? Would it be in hospitals and rehab clinics and things like that? So I thought that was interesting. And the last thing I wanted to touch on, page 100. Oh, by the way, that was page 73. The last thing I wanted to touch on, which was on page 100, let's see, it says here, communication with the spirit realm through dreams or visions is a commonplace fact of archaic and indigenous cultures around the world. It's only the rational West that we refute the possibility of such contact, blocked by our blind faith in materialism. I just wanted to talk about a priority there. I wanted to make that a huge priority in this book, because the whole theme of this book so far has been how, our culture is so close-minded to things that are not tangible, or that are not explainable or understandable. And, this author is really, he's really digging deep into how things that are not what we're used to could change the world. And I really appreciate that. So thanks. See you guys next week.